here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Cowboys first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Throwing now is Stroud. Open man, it's Palmer. Room to maneuver at the 35. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run this one right with Robinson. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Again, it's Robinson. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. The 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. 32 yards. And the Cowboys are able to at least get one score back. Point after, right down the middle. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44. The Chiefs offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his...
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Sliding out of the pocket. Here's one deep for Pickens. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. George Pickens, 56 yards. And the Chiefs will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game, 1 behind the all-time record of 5. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Flush to his right. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week, and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time. We're back now in KC. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Stroud. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. Down the right sideline. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
Extra point splits the uprights as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Sheds off the tackle. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. George Pickens back out now with the rest of the offense. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
He wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games. I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this, but to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes has a way of catching up with you.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news.
And now a fumble. The ball's out.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
2nd and 1 now from the 21.
They go with Abdullah again. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, there are a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Here's Abdullah running right. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
All right.
They'll run here. Abdullah. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. They try the right side with Abdullah. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
This one, and now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining.
Pickens is there on the crossing route.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
And that touchdown, his 5th touchdown grab of the game, and that ties him with Jerry Rice from 1990, Kellen Winslow Sr. from 1981, and Bob Shaw back in 1950.
There's an imposition in my mind.